Hello and welcome to the Gallant Goblin. I'm Grady, and today we're looking at the Neothelid miniature from WizKids. This is the premium figure releasing alongside the Mordenkainen Presents Monsters of the Multiverse booster set, which we'll be covering soon as well. This booster set release is essentially the next Volo's and Mordenkainen's bestiary set, as Monsters of the Multiverse is a reprint of races and creature stat blocks added after the player's handbook and monster manual, meaning mainly Volo's Guide to Monsters, Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, and various other adventures and rulebooks. As you can see from the stat blocks in the original Volo's Guide to Monsters on the left and the new Monsters of the Multiverse on the right, the Neothelid didn't really change much when upgraded to the new rules. One of the biggest changes Wizards introduced to the stat blocks was moving spellcasting abilities to the action section of the stat block and simplifying spell lists. Since the Neothelid's spell list was pretty simple and used innate spellcasting rather than spell slots, there's no real change. The other differences to note are the change in alignment presentation and the reduction in hit points. If the Neothelid isn't quite what you're looking for in a boss fight though, make sure to check out the Big Bad Booklets from our sponsor Hit Point Press. You get a new boss each month that you can use as a side quest or one-shot or integrate into your campaign as a major villain. Each booklet contains backstory, role-playing advice, stat blocks, rewards, and now VTT assets, and a 3D printable STL file of the boss so that you have everything you need to run a memorable adventure for your table. This month, come meet Alkinimic Rex. With the aid of Phagn's mirror, kobolds have reincarnated their beloved dragon god, Old Alkinimic. Though this mimic is not quite as the dragon once was. Will you take down the enormous mimic dragon, or will Phagn's mirror create a mimic monstrosity of you? Check it out at bigbads.com. Now, the Neothelid was first introduced in Volo's Guide to Monsters as part of an illithid, aka Mind Flayer, lore deep dive. Mind Flayers start their lives as tadpoles, which get implanted in a humanoid to become a Mind Flayer. If the Mind Flayer colony gets destroyed, the tadpoles are left to consume each other, resulting in a single survivor that grows to immense size, becoming a Neothelid. Though they come from Mind Flayers, Neothelids feel no kinship toward them and hunt Mind Flayers the same as any other living creature. They are essentially mindless hunters, though they have some residual psionic ability that lets them sense and hunt intelligent creatures. The mini arrives in two pieces: the body, which weighs in at a hefty 2 pounds 14 ounces, that's 1.3 kilograms for our metric friends, and the tongue tentacles? Tongue-tacles? The connection point between the two isn't great. I wish they'd make them a bit bigger and have a turn to lock mechanism rather than just an opening and a peg shaped similarly to the opening. Since plastic is malleable, the opening tends to deform. In the case of our Neothelid, there's some plastic in the way, and so it's impossible to properly insert the tongue-tacles unless we use a knife to cut some of the plastic out. The plastic is hard enough that it doesn't deform just from pushing. We got around the issue by using some putty instead to hold the two pieces together. Personally, I get the Neothelid and the purple worm mixed up in my head a lot. They are, after all, both purple and worm-like and can swallow people. But the Neothelid does not burrow and lacks tremor sense. I do think its psionic abilities are interesting and would make it quite a challenge if you allowed it to use them as legendary actions. Keeping in mind that Neothelids aren't intelligent, using its spellcasting too strategically would probably feel like cheating. But I think its once-a-day abilities as part of its standard hunting instincts make sense. For example, if hunting a single creature, it would blast it with Feeble Mind, while it might open with Confusion when attacking a group of creatures, following up with the Acid Breath Cone attack. Telekinesis could be an instinctive response to the creature that did a large amount of damage to it in the last round, hurtling the offending attacker away. The Neothelid is definitely a properly imposing figure using the extra large 8-inch bases that we see with adult and ancient dragons. And in this case, we have proper WizKids artwork to show that the mini is indeed scaled correctly relative to your average medium-sized humanoid. So if you have a problem with its size relative to how gargantuan creatures work in the rules, take it up with the 1D&D playtest. The mouth is too small to fit a mini in though, so that's unfortunate, but you can use putty just like with the tongue-tacles. Putty is your friend. In fact, you can even use putty to make minis ride the Neothelid. Just imagine like a group of Alhoons riding a trained Neothelid into battle. Of the official published adventures to date, Neothelids currently only appear in Waterdeep Dungeon of the Man Mage. However, they would work anywhere Mind Flayers live or have lived, so Underdark encounters would make sense, and you could integrate them into Out of the Abyss, for example. I would definitely encourage you to set fights with one in an area with a lot of height differences to really get a use out of its telekinesis and levitate spells, but I love nothing more in an RPG than throwing things off cliffs, so maybe that's just me. The Neothelid has a CR of 13 and is available for purchase now in game stores and online. It has an MSRP of $129.99, that's US dollars of course, but you can generally get it cheaper if you shop around. If you're looking for a case of Monsters of the Multiverse, some game stores still treat the premium figure as like the old case incentives, meaning that they may bundle it with the case for a discount. In theory, purchasing the Neothelid on dndmini.com would also qualify you for the promo for buying a Monsters of the Multiverse product through that website. However, the website is not currently showing the promo as available, nor does it automatically add it to your cart, but the listing for the Neothelid still references the existence of a website promo box, so presumably it does exist. I've sent a question to our WizKids contact asking for an update on the promo situation, and should hopefully know more by the time we do the video on the promos. But in theory, the dndmini.com promo should be a box containing a pre-painted Diviner Wizard and Enchanter Wizard. And thank you for watching today. Don't forget to check out the Big Bad Booklets at bigbads.com. If you found this video helpful, hitting that thumbs up button down below to like the video and subscribing to the channel helps us reach more viewers. You can chat with us on our Discord server, link in the video description and pinned comments down below, as well as get the latest news on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. For now, stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I'll see you next time on The Gallant Goblin.